Alright, today I am going to start Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I debated between trying to start the Resident Evil series or do some of the Sherlock Holmes games, and I just decided on Sherlock Holmes instead for right now. Cranium Heaven Pendulum. I believe this is made by the same studio as who did Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. They're all made by the same studio. Hardware.
Holmes! Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad.
I didn't keep count of bullets, but it sounded like a few too many.
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone, then.
Okay, so tab is the casebook. Interesting. Tasks, okay. Evidence. Documents, dialogues. Interesting. Souvenirs. Goes characters. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so this game, I believe, was made in 2014. I was considering playing them in order, but I looked it up, and I've got 3 of them, and apparently it doesn't really matter what order, so it says that they might make some subtle references, but no direct story difference, so I just decided to play the oldest one, because I have the newest one as well, but it came out this year, so...
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Okay, interesting. So you click instead of pressing E.
My
It's a
archive.
lot of
I
newspapers.
can always consult with it if needed. This is where I keep my post.
Yes. Stabbing them with a knife. Always useful.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Anything else in here? It doesn't look like it.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
The door is to leave. Ah, okay. There we go. The nice thing about having sensitivity controls on my mouse is I don't have to always go in and adjust. Makeup. Rotate. I'll do the classic. Oh. You have lots of options here for makeup and whatnot, but I'll just leave him as the default. Lots of basically the same suit. Kind of like that gray one. Go with the gray suit. Oh, okay. Ah, so you have to solve some stuff in order to unlock some of that stuff. Interesting. Can't open my chest. Alright, well, I guess it is time to go to Woodman Lee. Oh, that was one of the tasks. Oh, so it was just saying that on the loading screen. Interesting.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
E is to concentrate. Can I change key bindings? It doesn't look like it. On here. That.
It seems that the garden was well maintained. It seems that the...
Mr. Holmes?
Okay, so I can't go in there yet. Okay, so I can swap to first person view or third person. Interesting little aqueduct there.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes, everybody apparently knows my name.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
That's fair.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open. But I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Okay.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
That's fair.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually, whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Cameo. Cameo. Birdhouse. Gardening gloves. Drawer. Rosary.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Hmm. How would I know that?
Never mind.
Yeah, let's wait for a moment. Oh, okay, so that's the character portrait thing.
Thank you, madam.
As I say, I probably need to get more evidence first. Oops. There. The character portrait. Country, somewhere in the ancient pine woods. No mention of Plymouth yet, so don't really know how I would know that off the top of my head. So it keeps on trying to drag me back to wherever wherever the body position is facing. Wonder if that, okay, yeah, the change is in first person mode. Just a third person thing.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Thank you very much.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see. These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
I agree. Yeah, let's get in here and do some investigating.
What a terrible way to die. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Yes, the shelf. It's maybe easier to do with controller. Let's see, it says that it's compatible. Okay, right button to zoom in. Okay, so controller might be easier then.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Okay. Okay. And let's see. It's telling me X on something.
Harpoons for hunting whales.
Alright, now what do we have in here?
Peter
Boots.
Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting.
Okay, so I guess that just opens me up to something here. Used. Okay, so I guess I could probably take that outside and see if it fits the same size as those prints.
Someone drank from this glass recently. Someone drank from... The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Oh, interesting. Apparently you can skip this step. Interesting. How precise does this need to be? I mean... Oh,
Yes.
there we go.
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors. Rum, a sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
I would concur.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Okay, so I guess the green marks just show if I've...
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
Makes sense. Okay, interesting. So that's definitely a useful piece of information. So now I can...
The ship...
So apparently it being outlined in green means that... Or being filled in green means that it's...
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years
Completely investigated.
1878 to 8...
Guess that means that that's all I can get out of that. On a notebook.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
Makes sense.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey. These abbreviations mean something, but what? This wooden handle is plain and solid.
Indeed. Oh, okay, right. Red color signifies an unachievable clear combination. Okay. I agree, it was kind of big. Then again, he is retired. I can concur with that.
Someone was here yesterday.
Okay, so that's something I can do in a bit, but I'm not finished.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Mm-hmm.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Yeah. Have to be somebody very, very strong.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
I agree.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
Is it everything for the pool of blood? It kind of looks like it.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey.
Okay, so apparently there's still something maybe. So Y brings this back up. This gave me the task to make an ambush. No. No? Okay. Okay, so I need to... It looks like probably look around for a little bit more evidence. Talk to you.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky,
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oh, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Okay, good. I was going to say, I didn't necessarily want to go all the way back yet. Yeah. Ah, there we go. Now I can examine them.
These boots don't match the footprints.
No, a little bit too small.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Indeed.
Mr. Holmes?
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's just the buttons for it.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Okay.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it...
Yes.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
I guess it would be the pilgrimage.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
I wonder if when you talk to a person and go through all their dialogue
Who
stuff...
could do?
Oh, so you just can't interact anymore, so I guess that's all the info I can get out of her. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else around that I missed. This first one seems to be fairly simple. Looks like a case of somebody wanted to get his info. Maybe something about money or something. And so they got into an argument maybe of some kind, and it had to have been probably a friend or somebody that he did know before, because otherwise, you know, not a whole lot of people got the strength to pierce a dude with a harpoon and get it to hold up his weight in the wall behind it. It's a lot of power behind that jab.
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Indeed. Okay, so that indicates that you have found sufficient clues to accuse one of the suspects. Interesting.
Did you hear that?
Bruh, you're whispering very loud.
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there.
Mr. Holmes?
All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector, but please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he seems kind of small. Unless he's just got big feet. Oh, it just keeps on telling me the objectives.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Here for an
Good
interrogation.
morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Which is where I'll be going first.
Mr. Holmes?
Staff room. Evidence room.
These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor.
Mm-hmm.
These abbreviations mean something, but what? A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Ooh, it's got an inscription inside.
To my friend, from R. Dawson. And partner, 1883. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Okay.
A handkerchief with the initials J.H.N.
X is to open, so I need to remember X. Select, doesn't do anything. Okay, so let's go here real quick. Look at the archives. Because I feel like if it is an important little tidbit of info that I can get out of here, it'll probably be something that I will need to ask in an interrogation. So Dawson and Nelligan Investments. It's a regional banking institution declared bankruptcy. Okay. I've been assigned for liquidation. 23rd largest bank. Second largest bankruptcy. Interesting. So Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. Okay. Last seen aboard his yacht, preparing for departure to Norway. So we wanted.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
Agree. Don't have a profile on him yet. Hello, Watson. Should probably have made sure this is on my fastest drive. Not that the load times are horribly long, just... Surprised they're not faster for such an old game. Can't go in there, unfortunate.
Locked.
Dang it. Oh, I can go into the morgue. Is there any point of coming down here? Guess there would be if there was an autopsy. Because I'm not seeing, nothing for me to do here at the moment. I imagine it'll be important later. Let's get down to brass tacks. Shabby cat. Patch. Fancy buttons. Short sleeves. Calluses. Scars.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes. Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believed that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress.
Indeed.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
This guy does look a bit small. I don't know if he'd have the strength to impale somebody on a wall.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner. So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
I guess that wasn't enough. No.
So, Mr. Nelligan...
The ring is mine.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't think so. Maybe these two. No? Okay. Let's see, swift actions and pin to a wall. That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking it can't be the wife or this guy.
I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Now let's see, is there anything else? Okay, and he said that he lost it in a hotel. I doubt that has anything, yeah. Doubt it, doubt it, doubt it. It might as well just clear everything. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's about what I thought. So, I think we can do the experiment now. Oops. That. Wrong button. Task. Let's go back to Baker Street, talk to Watson. Just another thing to do during travel time, I guess.
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
Yes.
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible, but if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
I concur. Do I need to go collect it first? Probably, so I'm gonna go back here.
That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Okay, and they did already remove his body. Is there anything else in here to investigate at all? Other than the... Oop, wait. Ah.
Hammerfest. Dundee. It's a whaling map.
Does that provide me with anything here? No. Now to the butcher. So it must be a tiny map. Ah. Let's do it.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
Okay.
Holmes, you should try to aim. The harpoon has struck the body, but with insufficient strength to pierce it straight through.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
Very well, but do it quickly. Okay, harpoon. Strength requirement, yes. Into the wall. Maybe interpreted differently. Okay. Requires much greater strength. Be able to pierce much through, yeah. 2-minute cooperation, okay. More likely to believe the feat of strength. Ship's log. Do I not have the ship's log with me? Guess I just left it there, didn't I? Okay, so that's probably the deal. I probably have to go back there now to actually access it and read the correct year. That would make sense. Now I could see this being a type of revenge. There. Yeah.
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away.
Indeed.
This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. Log notes for this log notes for August. These pages have This is the crew list of the Sea log notes log notes.
Oh.
Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, a torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
Okay. There we go. So that's what that piece of evidence was for. So I need to talk to Wiggins.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they're still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard,
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, as his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Fair enough. So
Sorry
two
to trouble
together
you,
in
Mr.
one
Holmes,
place.
but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Let's go back here, because it's all I can do at the moment.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always, what happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes, he refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
So condescending, Sherlock. Jeez. Didn't mean to do that.
These are the suspect's belongings.
Boots.
Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size 9.5.
Ah, and the other guys were size 8.
A pen. Nothing unusual. The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals.
Oops. Oh, was that
These are
everything?
the su-
Oh, is there something else
These
here?
are the suspects. I wonder if these are connected.
8532.
Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
Okay, interesting. I concur, that could have been a motive. There's always, of course, the other option. Alright, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna gather all the evidence. Okay.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the 3rd one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Okay. So orange is colorless.
Second condition, orange reagent should be the 3rd one. Third condition, colorless reagent should...
Okay, so...
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the 3rd one in the sequence. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the...
Okay, so... blue, and then... let's see, there's 2 colorless. So I could do... do an orange and a colorless. And then another orange. And another colorless. Then a blue and a green.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the...
This combo would make sense because you use blue and a green, then another blue. So then you get to orange, which has to be followed by colorless. And then you'd have another orange third from the blue, so... this combo, I believe, makes sense. Green was essentially just a filler.
Done. Now I can proceed further.
Okay. That kind of made sense when I thought about it.
The content of this letter sheds a little light upon the mystery. I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this?
Oh. Kind of going for that because he didn't seem to be the type, at least from the interview, but need to talk to Hurtley first to see his personality slash how he reacts to questioning. Oh, wait. Gosh, wrong button again. Here first. Double check the boot size.
These boots match the footprints exactly.
Yep. Okay, yeah. Can I talk to her now? Are there more dialogue options? Because before, it just booted me. It wouldn't let me talk to her again.
Who could...
Oh, okay, so I have exhausted her dialogue. Now to talk to him, since I believe I've got all my ducks in a row. Oh, on there.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely, and considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you, but you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see.
Even more of a reason to get the other info first. Old scar. Gardener's hands. Interesting. It remains. Okay.
Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one. But it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley. That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads, but now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
I agree.
I'm not saying no.
Please...
Oh, I can interrogate him too.
Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belong to my family, but I could not find them there.
That's all for now. Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go! I'm innocent!
Okay, so the kid now has a motive. Okay, I was gonna say, I feel like there should be another... Don't know enough about Lee, or about the newer guy, Hartley, to make a judgment yet. He's being shady, that's for sure. And the wife was also being a little bit shady when talking, but...
Locked.
Hello.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, she wouldn't be likely to give up the keys so easy. She'd make an excuse if she was involved, but that doesn't mean
Let's see what could be hidden here.
100% anything. Shovels, a grindstone. Did I swap the view? There we go. It'd be a little bit easier like this. There we go. Huzzah. Found a small wooden box.
Let us see what is in this box.
Interesting.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
Indeed. Okay, so now there's definitely a motive. Go and say that at the moment.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
What has he done?
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any...
fact that he hid the letters instead of giving them back may be cause for concern. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this for right now. It does give him motive. There's still other evidence, though, that we do not have.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see. This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch.
Not gonna lie, I didn't even realize that. I just saw harpooner and
Wiggins,
I was like,
could you gather some
that's definitely
information
suspicious.
on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairns.
Sometime later.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I was gonna say, do we just have him do this for free? We have to pay him with something. I agree.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress.
Dress as a sailor. Okay, easy enough. Let's go in here and open the wardrobe. Yeah, we'll do this.
Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
I'm sure there's several combos of things that could have worked, but for sure he needed the sailor uniform and probably the hat too. This is indeed a dingy little pub.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling on arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
It also helps because I've got some vibration when he does stuff too. Come on! There we go. Jeez, that took forever. I had to kind of figure it out.
I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that.
But I'm the one who won last time. Gotcha again. Ah!
Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner? Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I've sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger, we sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumours about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar, and violent too. Swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant, and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Oh?
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I dunno. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Yeah.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
Why not?
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course. Back in a second. I'm off to the Ghazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Yeah. I see that.
Here it is. Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
It sounds kind of like the guy from Moby Dick. This one's interesting. Doesn't necessarily prove that he's the murderer. This for now, I'm gonna be curious. possible conspiracy. Interesting. So if it's this... So if it was this, we'd still need more info. So there's another piece of the puzzle here. What about clues? Is there nothing else? Okay, so... he has a motive for sure. So I've did as you asked and hid them well. I beg you to reconsider. So that makes me kind of think that... gives Hurtley a very good motive, and it is suspicious. Because, from what I can think of, there's no reason that he has to, other than currently poverty, to... there's no reason for him necessarily to murder him. There is a reason for him. Because he was the gardener. And he hid stuff in the shed, and the box was missing. This guy had not gotten in when the box was missing yet. Can I not? I feel like I should be able to go back and talk to Hurtley. Maybe both of them again. I feel like there's still a piece of evidence missing. Because so far it only leads me to a single conclusion with the combination of the evidence, and usually it gives you two. At least from Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1, that was what I got from it.
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here?
Okay, so it's... So if we do that... Okay, so that's interesting. So we'll say it's that, but... on certificates. We'll say that. Yeah, I was gonna say, he is lying because... Talked about his father leaving. He knew about the notebook. And see, he says that he could not find them there, so I do still think there's maybe a third option here, because let's take away this, because he doesn't, yeah, he didn't physically or psychologically, did say this. Let's try this. Uh-huh. Now see, this I could believe, especially if he was trying to extort money out of him. It would make sense to me. I want to go back to the conversation one more time that I had with him. See the reaction about the tobacco. So it is suspicious that he says he doesn't know where he lost it. I'm probably thinking over this too hard, but... So the blade shows no signs of use. I guess that would mean no signs of stabbing somebody or being used for something. So if the kid knew about the bonds and knew that they were there, he could have been searching for them, or he could have put two and two together, especially since he was wearing his father's jacket and had this ring. Could have taken it very personally and wanted revenge. I could definitely see that. Although he didn't seem to have the personality type of one. So let's see, if it is a feat of strength. Let's try the lucky throw thing. So he said he couldn't find them. And so, I mean, he could have thought either two things. Either A, he killed him and took the bonds, or if his father had died at sea, if the guy was in that area, then he might have found them. Don't know how much information he had. This is... The fact, though, that he says he had lost the notebook at the hotel... The problem is that it doesn't give me a thing for motive for Cairns. Let's see. You see, I've got motive, circumstance, literally. See, I could see if it was maybe this guy was jealous and this guy needed money. But apparently there's nothing else to find. still, though, would find it very hard for the lucky throw just doesn't sit super well, even though this guy has a very good motive. Kind of want to say that it's probably this, because his tobacco pouch is there. There's no connection between any of these three guys, but the tobacco pouch was there, but so was the notebook. There's no connection between this guy and the other one with the notebook. But there were two glasses that seem to have been drunk out of recently. I wonder, maybe a motive here. See, I could see these two coming up together with the conspiracy. Cairns talks to Nelligan, and then they conspire for the money slash proof. Oh, I suppose I need to. But remember, the notebook looked like it had been there afterwards. I want to double check this. Remember, it said something about he observed. Actually, wait, let's go back and see what I said as an observation. Big question, though, is why is both the pouch there and the notebook? Hmm. I'm really not sure on this. I'm probably overthinking it, but... could have potentially been catching up, could have anything. It's just, there's no motive for this. So, not having a motive is troubling. He has a motive. He also has a motive. You know, I'm kind of liking the conspiracy. But my biggest thing is that the kid does not seem... his personality doesn't seem like it. So I want to say, he said he was looking for the papers, he said he thought he lost his notebook. Since it said this guy is retired from the military, I would think it would more so be a feat of strength instead of just a lucky throw, but... this guy has the most clear-cut motive. Plus, he was acting the most suspicious. Everybody else was pretty open. So... I think so, yes. I don't know whether it's right or not.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was Liam Hurtley.
That doesn't surprise me. I've never seen a guiltier-looking fellow.
He was in love with Judith Carey. It caused a conflict that proved fatal for her husband.
I see. Come on now, let us confront him.
Liam Hurtley, it was you who killed Black Peter. He learned of your relationship with his wife, and he asked that you meet him to share in a drink. Then began the quarrel. He drew his knife, and in self-defense, you took up the harpoon. Lestrade, please put that in your report.
I deny everything. You have no proof.
Calm down and thank your stars that Mr. Holmes just saved your neck.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
No, I want to check. Okay, so I was right. Hartley is guilty. Or is it saying that it was wrong? Interesting. So you can do this. Okay, this is for science to see if the red means that it was showing the correct. I'm assuming it was the correct answer, but I just want to see.
The case is solved.
So tell me.
There are two culprits, Inspector, Nelligan and Hartley.
What? Well, I would never have guessed, Mr. Holmes. They are a rotten pair, though.
It was a combination
Spelling
of
error.
two motives, culminating in one crime.
What were their motives?
The first was revenge. Black Peter possessed the bond certificates that had belonged to Nelligan's father, and young Nelligan wished to retrieve them.
And the second?
The second was a crime of passion. Liam Hartley was in love with Black Peter's wife, and this caused a conflict between him and Carrie.
Well, well, well. Makes sense, Mr. Holmes.
I suggest that you organize a small confrontation between the two, just to confirm my accusation.
That's a good idea, Mr. Holmes. I'll talk to these fellows. Join me in the interrogation room.
Interesting.
Gentlemen, we know everything about your association to kill Black Peter. Admit that you planned it together.
Our association? I don't even know this man.
You needed to kill Peter Carey. There had to be two of you there.
Ridiculous. I'm innocent.
All that remains is to determine the level of guilt. Which one of you is the initiator in this case?
But I just told you I've never seen this man before.
It's him. He's the culprit. He was forcing me. He threatened me. He's the mastermind behind it all.
Shut up. You're a lunatic.
Well, it all seems very clear, don't you think, Mr. Holmes?
Both are guilty, of course, but I believe that Hartley was the initiator of the crime.
It's ridiculous. Why would I need the help of this weakling?
You wanted to be rid of the man who was terrorizing his wife, and who prevented the two of you from being together. Young Nelligan was just following his lead.
You are wrong. I have nothing whatsoever to do with this.
You'll explain that to the judge.
The case is resolved in...
Very...
Okay, so it still highlights it in red, so I'm assuming that means that it is not correct. Okay, so I may end up going through all four of these, but that's okay.
Good afternoon. I must be at the wrong address. I'd like to speak with a ship's captain, a Captain Ahab. Is that you?
No, my name is Sherlock Holmes.
That detective fella? So, you wanted to see me?
That is correct. We need to talk.
About what?
About Black Peter, who was killed in his own hut with a harpoon.
You know, don't ya?
Yes.
How?
The tobacco pouch. You recognized it.
Oh, the sailor. It was you. Unbelievable. Well, fine. I confess. But if you really do know everything, you should also know that I didn't want to kill him. He made me do it.
I know. Did you know about this story with the bond certificates? Did you need money?
Yeah. I just wanted him to cough up a little silver. I'm out of work, and I thought maybe he could help me. Well, he refused outright, and he insulted me. I reminded him I knew all about that murder he committed at sea in 1883. Then he got mad when I spoke about his treasure. I barely just had time to throw the harpoon at him before he could jump at me with his knife. You know the truth. What will you do now?
I ask that you return the bond certificates. Keep some of them. You will need them in your exile. It is better that you leave the country for a few years.
And you won't say anything to the police?
I will not say anything as long as you return the money.
Well, I'll do as you ask. But what about Inspector Lestrade?
I will deal with him. Goodbye.
It's good that you asked me to come, Mr. Holmes. We do need to talk.
About what?
What do you mean? Our case, Mr. Holmes. You sent me a message via your little thug.
His name is Wiggins, Inspector.
Telling me that the case is solved. Well, Mr. Holmes, tell me, who is our murderer and where is he?
The morgue.
Eh?
His name is, or rather was, Pablo Coventral. He was also on the ship with Peter Carey, and he was a harpooner. I'll tell you everything, Inspector, but do calm down. Mrs. Hudson...
Right, because there was the other guy who died a week ago.
Orange cake? You're spoiling me, Mr. Holmes. That's my favourite.
I know. There's a reason that I gave you the orange
Mr.
cake.
Holmes. Inspector Lestrade told me that I should thank you for clearing my name. He also said that you were waiting for me here. I came as fast as I could. I cannot thank you enough. It is all because of you that this nightmare is finally over.
I believe that this belongs to you.
My father's securities. Incredible! But how did you get them?
It would take far too long to explain.
Tell me,
don't ask.
this is extraordinary. You are a genius.
Then that may serve as an explanation. Goodbye, Mr. Nelligan, and good luck.
Goodbye, Mr. Holmes. And thank you. 1,000 times thank you.
Okay, so it highlights in green when it's correct. Interesting. I'm glad that you can do this because I did want to check. It's, you know, it's kind of unfulfilling if you just pick one and it's just like, did you make the right decision when there's 3 suspects? Not going to tell you. So I'm glad that that happened. I am also curious though, like in the other game, there was achievements for doing things a certain way. Okay, so it just seems to be stuff like finishing observations, quick events, and dialogue stuff. It doesn't seem to be anything specific. Disarm Mexican by shooting the gun from his hand. Interesting. I don't know if I'll remember that or not. Receive 3 messages from those whom you condemned or absolved. Interesting. See, it just seems to be a lot of things, although there's a few people apparently you have to save them from committing suicide. Reach all possible conclusions in the game. Wonder if that just means go through and do all of them. Yes. Huh, interesting. Okay. And there we go. First case is done.
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes. As your friend and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is. The one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
I guess this is a Mycroft?
Mycroft.
Sherlock.
Mr. Holmes? Perhaps you don't remember me. I'm Dr. Watson. We met at the Diogenes Club a few years ago. I documented our encounter in a short story I gave the title The Greek Interpreter.
He does remember you, Watson. My brother remembers everything, and that is why he is so valuable to the government.
We are about to depart for the train station.
I know.
You know?
Sherlock, I need your help. There are people who presently threaten both our country and the Crown itself. You must help us with those methods of yours.
Need help. Those are not words I would readily associate with you, Mycroft.
I wrote you a letter, but you did not reply. And this is not about politics. It's about people. People similar to those whom you pretend to defend in your petty detective affairs.
Everything is about politics with you, Mycroft. I'm not interested. Have some of your agents, your spies, or worse, undertake this job of yours. You are defending your people, and they have little to do with the people I choose to help, I can assure you.
That is the point. You think exactly as they do.
Who are they?
The Merry Men. He is talking about the Merry Men, a band of idealistic terrorists.
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further.
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary. Dr. Watson, the train conductor, Mr. Parker, is aware that you will be 7 minutes late. You are in the 4th car. The train will be waiting for you. Sherlock, enjoy your time in Staffordshire. And do, please, at least write to me on your return.
So there's an achievement for finishing this one. And I definitely will. Oh. I have a souvenir. It's a harpoon. I will say, if we're looking at this from the people who designed the game, the way the harpoon is stuck in him, the tip would have to just kind of barely be in the wall, and I'm not quite sure it would still hold the full weight of a man while sticking into the wood at that angle. But that's not, I have no proof of that. It would just be my assumption based on the way I think physics and everything works, so... I like this gray suit with the crimson patterned vest. Sticks it back in.
This is where I... This is...
Interesting.
Holmes, please call a cab while I pack my suitcase. We should be late for the train.
Look after Mrs. Hudson for us, Toby.
Can't punch the punching bag. Unfortunate. Okay, there is no save here. I need to use the restroom, so I will be back in a couple minutes. Okay. I think I'm going to try and finish one more case before I end for the evening. There.
Watson, I'll hold a cab for us. We leave in 5 minutes for the station.
What a gloomy night. It was warmer inside the waiting hall.
Since the station master told us that the train is about to arrive, we should not have to wait very much longer.
Yes, at last.
Attention! The train is arriving at the station. Please stand well away from the platform edge.
I'll take your bags and your blasted archive suitcase.
Is there nobody else getting on this
Holmes,
train?
The headlight. It's faded away.
Something is wrong. I can't hear any sound from the incoming train.
Indeed.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain what has happened?
I don't know. It's as if the train vanished into thin air.
Holmes, say something.
Quick, fetch a lantern and let us take a look.
Maybe it's the bandits.
It's too dark. Only fog and rails, nothing else.
There is no use in stumbling around here at night. We will come back tomorrow. Well, here we are again at Evesham Station. We have a full day ahead. Let us begin our investigation.
No. Okay. Oh. I guess it's trying to tell me, yeah, you can't go that way at the moment. The classic walking on metal sound effect.
This is the place where we saw the train vanish last night. Trains can't just vanish without leaving a trace. It isn't possible. Is it, Holmes?
No.
A discarded item, possibly thrown from the train. Railway sleepers, nothing unusual. There are no tracks or footprints on the ground.
So it's as if it stopped right around here. Yeah, I hear you over there.
First of all, let us examine the area where the train disappeared.
But did though, there wasn't anything else. Oh, maybe the tracks themselves. Here we go.
The rails
Okay.
have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here. There are no signs to indicate that the train ran off the track, nor are there any other traces. There is nothing whatsoever. There are no clues. But then, a negative result is also a result.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. No clues, and you're smiling.
Yes, Watson, I do smile on occasion. This mystery appears very promising.
Indeed.
This investigation won't be simple. We shall require a map of the region.
Perhaps the station master could lend us one.
Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I remember you. I'm Station Master Everett. You were here last night. So, you are Mr. Holmes, the great detective. Will you be investigating what happened?
I shall indeed.
It is extraordinary that an entire train could disappear like that. And to think of all the poor people inside it, the passengers, the driver.
Seems to be a little bit nervous. Yep, fully gray hair, older gentleman, honorary badge, wedding ring, he was married, spots of earth,
Could you please give us any details about the train?
Well, there was nothing so very special about it. At least not that I can recall. My memory's not what it used to be. However, if you need it, you can have the train composition report. It's inside my office.
I would be glad to have a detailed map of the local railway district.
But of course, please, take the one that's pinned inside the waiting hall.
See you later, my good man.
Interesting, so it shows that it's a hobby for gardening.
A new telegram.
I think we should meet this Mr. Robinson.
Special wagon ordered by one person. This dude's gotta be,
Here is the train set.
gotta have some money. For sure.
A telegraph.
Indeed.
According to the train composition report, there was a special wagon. What does that entail?
That's a highly secure car, ordered by a private party. It is generally to carry something of value. Those wagons have iron walls, you know, without any windows. And they're fitted with a complex key lock.
That is important information. Do you know what was inside this particular wagon?
Certainly not. No, that's private. And it's not my responsibility to allot the wagons to whoever.
See you later, my good man.
Okay. Where does the store go?
Railway post bags.
Okay, so there's some people over there. Railway map, here we go.
This map will be useful.
Yep, I'm just gonna take it. I have a theory that they could have potentially put down some false tracks or connected it up to another thing.
This part is probably from a locomotive.
But then I feel like that would have left signs on the ground.
An old locomotive bell. This part is probably from a locomotive. This place
would have
serves
guessed?
as a storage area for the station.
The whole train just disappeared. It's unbelievable.
Oh, interesting.
There was a building here not so long ago.
But I don't understand, Holmes. Why would anyone destroy the shed in such a manner?
It was disassembled in great haste. It is most odd.
Holmes, how is it even possible for a train to disappear?
Traces. Let's take a closer look.
It's like horseshoe prints with
Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches.
Alright.
The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep.
Indeed.
These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials.
Mm-hmm. Is that all about the tracks? I guess so.
It appears that there was a small warehouse near your station, and that it was disassembled. Why is that?
It was burgled overnight about 2 weeks ago. The police have already started their investigation, but I doubt that they'll find anything.
What was inside the warehouse?
Nothing of value. A few hundred feet of standby rails and some spare railway parts. But it wouldn't be easy to steal all of that. Why would anyone want to?
So yeah, it seems like the train was diverted.
Was there anything exceptional about any of the passengers aboard the train?
What do you mean? Like officials? I wouldn't know. Oh, but now that you mention it, yes, there was something. There was a message from Bridlington station saying that the train had been delayed because of an issue with the passengers. But what kind of problem that they didn't say?
That is interesting. You mentioned a problem at Bridlington station. I should like to visit this station. Could you mark it on the local map?
Of course. It's a suburban railway station. You might take a cab there.
See you later, my good man.
Okay, so now I can go there. Makes sense.
The entire...
Oh, I can't even talk with them. Okay. I guess it's on to the other station. I don't think there's any deductions yet. Actually. No. No. Okay.
Railway post bags.
Indeed.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day. To whom am I speaking?
My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is...
Are you a representative of this damned railway company? Because I have a complaint.
We are not from the railway company. We are...
Well, in that case, Mr. Shamrock Flomes, please excuse me, but I'm not in the mood for idle chit-chat at the moment.
You must be Mr. Robinson, is that correct?
Yes?
I am leading the investigation of the disappearing train. It would help if you could answer my questions.
Ah, well, all right. I have nothing to hide.
I presume it was you who placed the order for the special wagon.
Yes. It was to transport my valuable prototype safely to London. My prototype is a revolutionary device. It is capable of producing electricity. I'm a businessman and an engineer. I had already found several potential customers for my invention, but I was very optimistic about the directors' board who were travelling on the train last night.
Oh, interesting.
You mentioned a director's board. Which company do they own?
The Chilean Barcazes Company. I had made an appointment with them. Now they are lost, along with the train and my prototype.
What do you know about the Barcazes Company?
It's a large South American company. They showed a great deal of interest in my prototype, and they seemed wealthy enough to do business with.
This revolutionary machine of yours, was it very valuable?
For God's sake, sir, it is priceless. It could change the world we live in, and yet I was selling it for almost nothing. I am a humanitarian, you see. I do not know if I will ever be able to get over this disaster. I cannot believe that it disappeared with that damned train.
Mr. Robinson, could you please clarify? Were you traveling alongside your prototype?
Yes, I was. But I had to step off the train. And all because of this stupid station master.
I received a telegram declaring that an important person, a Mr. Bromsby, wished to see you in the waiting room. I merely informed you of this.
Mr. Bromsby is a wealthy gentleman. His interest in my invention was truly unexpected. So yes, of course, I agreed to see him. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. I thought perhaps he might have been delayed, so I chose to wait a while. But despite my requests, the train left the station without me. Absolutely unacceptable.
The timetable is strict. We cannot wait any longer. The regulations require the train to be on time.
You are an idiot. You will pay for it. I will sue you.
Goodbye, sir.
Interesting. Angry passenger.
This is an absolute scandal. It's always the same with these rail companies. No respect for the customer.
Please calm down, sir. What is your concern?
Concern? What is my concern? I'll tell you what my concern is. Last night I were on the train as usual with my colleague, heading home. Then along came this ridiculous ticket inspector, who started arguing that our tickets were invalid. He made us get off the train, and he was extremely rude about it.
Interesting.
Were you aboard the train that vanished last night?
Yes, I heard that it disappeared, but I don't care because we would have stopped before then anyway. Our tickets were valid and no doubt about it. And then, to top it all, the ticket inspector pushed everyone else out too, except for a bunch of rich. Well, because their type don't need a ticket.
Can you recall anything more specific about this fortunate group?
Well, yes. They were all foreigners. Spanish-looking toffs with snake eyes.
Goodbye, sir. The ticket inspector forced all the passengers from the train except for the directors of the Barcazes Chilean Company.
Sounds, so far, like they were trying to maybe steal this prototype. That's what I'm thinking so far.
Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am investigating the unfortunate disappearance of last night's train.
I see. I'm Station Master Bertram, but my supervisor has not informed me about this. I do not know if...
Do not worry. I have only a few questions. Station Master Everett from Evesham told us that you reported a problem with some passengers last night.
Indeed. This train is a regular line for those who work at Nottingham. But yesterday, everyone was asked to get off the train here at my station. I've no idea why, and it delayed the train. But the worst of it is that now I have to deal with 2 furious passengers who are complaining about the company's service. They stayed here the whole night. But people do not usually pay much attention to the regulations, you see. There are very strict and clear rules. Paragraph 234 of Article 2G-43 states that in the event of a complaint, you must...
Yes, thank you. I understand. Apart from the passengers disembarking, did you notice anything else that was unusual last night?
I did. And I mentioned it in my report to our higher management on the matter.
What was it?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. The station master's reports are confidential.
Confidential, you say? How long have you been working here?
I've worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
Let me speak frankly, Mr. Bertram. Your age and your lack of confidence in your position are quite apparent. You cannot deny that you have only recently completed your studies.
I was at the top of my class.
Listen here, young man. I am aware that you wish to protect yourself behind all these regulations, but I represent the law.
And you are obstructing the investigation of an important case. I would suggest that you cooperate with Mr. Holmes. Think of your career.
Ah, that is... Well, I'll tell you everything. First of all, I scolded the ticket inspector, for it was he who asked the passengers to leave the train. It was not his right to do so. He was very rude. And then, later on, I received a most peculiar telegram from my colleague at Chesterfield Station, the next stop along the line.
Okay.
What did the telegram say?
Well, that was the peculiar thing. It was almost unreadable. It was full of errors and awfully vague. It was hard to understand if the train had correctly passed that station or not. You can read it for yourself.
We ought to visit Chesterfield Station. We need to confirm if the station master saw the train or not.
Perhaps the person was not fully literate. Yeah, is there anything else around here that I might be able to observe or get some clues from?
The insurance policy for Robinson's machine. A significant sum.
Oh. Interesting.
A telegraph.
Don't touch anything.
According to this document, you have insurance for your prototype.
Oh, thank God. Where did you find it?
Near the telegraph station.
I must have lost it when I tried to send a message, which I was prevented from doing.
I apologise for that, but regulations state that public access to the telegraph is strictly prohibited.
Upon my word, you keep on digging that hole of yours. You have no idea who I am.
I see that you kept your grip sack with you. Why don't you leave it in the luggage room?
I've had other things to think about. I lost my prototype. And this idiot station master just stands here doing nothing to help.
Oh, but...
Well, that won't do at all. Station master, I believe that the regulations state that any passenger luggage should be taken to the luggage room.
I'll do it right away, sir. Sorry, sir.
This Robinson is quite a character. We should learn more about him.
I agree. Can I not go in there? Okay.
This grip sack belongs to...
I think we should open it, Holmes. This is what they call force majeure. I'll keep watch.
Of course.
All right. Maybe this would be better. Got it.
Look, Watson, a bundle of contracts. Very suspicious. We should study them carefully. An exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller. Yet another exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller. Yet another exclusive sale. Mr. Robinson is the seller. Yet another. Mr. Robinson is... Well, it is very clear that this Mr. Robinson received prepayments from various people for his machine.
Okay, so... That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Although it would appear that there's quite a bit more to this.
I'm all...
I will not move from here until I receive my...
Nope, can't talk to you. I was gonna say, I thought there was another door. Let's check thoroughly in this building too. There doesn't appear to be anything in there. The lock on that. Maybe I'll get access to that later. Okay. Chesterfield. Where I need to go next. So far, it's kind of looking like insurance fraud. So far.
This bin is full of empty bottles.
It's true, quite a few.
A fishing advertisement.
I had thought that all station masters knew the Morse code, but apparently not.
That would explain the sloppy letter. If somebody was mixing up the Morse code. Also, oh, he is here. I was gonna say, where is the station master? He's apparently just not here. It's because he was sitting here, almost unnoticeable in the corner.
How could he fall asleep at work like this? Excuse me, sir. Wake up. Ah, his breath. He must have swallowed half a distillery.
And that explains the how.
By his sleeping off the alcohol, you mean? Wake up, please, sir.
What? The 18-hour 72 train has arrived?
Good day to you. We are investigating the disappearance of last night's train, and we should like to ask you a few questions.
Yep, for sure. Red nose and cheeks. Flushed. Clothes. Married. Oh, didn't even really notice that. Fishing line.
Were there any passengers who got off that particular train at your station last night?
No, nobody, it seems to me. Although I did not leave my office, so...
No doubt you were very busy.
You don't say. You can't ever get any peace around here. Now you have to send a telegram each time a train arrives and departs.
Station Master Bertram from Bridlington showed me a strange telegram that he received from you last night. It concerned the train, but it was barely comprehensible.
What? He's a fastidious little twerp, that Bertram. I remember everything quite clearly. It was late, and I was tired, but I did my work. So what? There's no need to be so petty.
You were not tired, you were inebriated. Tell me the truth now, or I shall not hesitate to document your state in my report.
My friend means that you will end up by being sacked from your position.
All right. So I was drunk. I don't remember all of yesterday, to be truthful to you. Please don't go harsh on me.
Holmes, this man has consumed a considerable amount of alcohol. He's not entirely helpless yet, but...
It will not be long before he is. Obviously, his testimony cannot be trusted.
Yeah. Ooh, another. For now, we'll put this. For now. Oops, I forgot. I wanted to see if there's more clues that. Oop, not enough info yet. Okay. Still several data points to go.
Ah, will I ever get any peace?
Bruh, maybe if you quit binge drinking.
Lock. There is no sense in asking the station master to...
Yeah, he probably doesn't have the key anyways.
These tools were used quite recently. They are still muddy. We should ask about them.
I concur.
Railway post bags. You have quite a number of dirty tools lying around here.
Ah, yes. Well, thank you for reminding me. I should clean them. Although, it might be easier to put them outside. Seems it might start raining soon.
I meant, what were they used for?
Some workers come here and borrowed them from me. They wanted to lift the edge of the railway to one of the stations on the line, so that the water wouldn't come in too close.
Who were these workers?
Well, they didn't seem to be from the company, but they was fine lads. They invited me to share a drink. And whatever it was, it had a kick to it. They wasn't English. No, I don't believe so. But see, they knew just what a man needed to brighten up his dull evening.
Okay, that's definitely something to note. Gosh dang it. Oh, the warehouse.
A handcar wheelbase. Interesting. It appears that elements of the same construction were scattered everywhere. Watson, please tell me, do you believe in magic?
Of course not, Holmes.
Then you are of the opinion that a train cannot simply disappear.
Well, we both know that that is obvious. Why are you asking such peculiar questions?
A little patience, Watson. You will understand my point quite soon. So, are you quite certain that you saw the train at Evesham Station?
Yes, of course. We saw it coming. The headlights, and heard the whistle.
But that is it. We didn't see the train itself.
But... Oh, Holmes, I'm a little confused.
They used the rail car with some of the other stuff. Yep.
I should use the appropriate I should use the...
Is there an axle somewhere?
I should use...
There we go.
I should use the...
Ah. Is there another piece somewhere that I'm missing? Oh, another wheel. Zaw, there we go.
So, now here we have the fake train that we saw approaching Evesham Station last night.
Doesn't look much like a train to me.
Be patient, Watson, I haven't finished yet. Try using your imagination. Our train requires only a headlight and a steam whistle. The long pole is now attached. It will allow us to connect the headlight. The headlight is attached. The steam whistle is now connected.
Holmes, what can we do to make the steam whistle work?
It is elementary, my dear Watson. We shall need a fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher. Now let us see what we have here. The steam whistle is ready to be used. Watson, I do believe that we have created an exact replica of the train that vanished in front of us last night. The criminal mind can be most inventive. I am somewhat in awe.
So, such a thing is possible.
Yep.
If someone went to all the trouble of creating this fake train, then it was surely with the intention of stealing the real one.
Ah, Watson, you should not jump to conclusions. In fact, this does not tell us very much at all, except that the train did not evaporate into thin air.
Although you half suspected it.
Huh. At any rate, we now need to find where the real train might be hidden. I suggest we use my archives to find a more detailed map of our surroundings.
Well, I hope that justifies our having to load your massive archive suitcase onto the cab. It made us extremely unpopular with our driver.
Oh, is there something in here?
Bags were recently... French wine. A remarkable vintage. These bottles are too expensive for a station master's wage. They were likely taken from the parcels.
Shameful.
Interesting.
Now we have two maps. We must combine them properly.
How precise do I need to be? The landmarks are overlapping. Or wait, are they not quite? Oh, no, that's not quite right. Okay, so it was my bad. No, but that matches up exactly. Oh no, here we go. The lake. I was gonna say, I don't know where that lake is.
Here it is.
There we go.
There is a side branch to the railway. Its first switch is located between Bridlington and Chesterfield stations. There is one more station to be visited. It is located between Chesterfield and Evesham, and there should be a side railway to the nearby quarry. There is a small section of a railway at the end of Evesham station.
Okay, so now we got more info to go off of. Okay. Let's go to the switch first.
The switch is rusted, but it still works. Mines. This is interesting.
It'd be a little bit fast,
it would
but
be quite
yeah.
possible for someone to redirect the train towards the mines.
Mm-hmm. Just go to the mines first. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I'm not touching the mouse. Abandoned mines, you say? Let's see about that.
The distance between the tracks is about 4 feet 8 inches. A lightly loaded vehicle came this way. There is a wooden beam lying on the rails. A small vehicle with wooden beams went down this way.
Makes sense.
This mine has completely collapsed, Holmes.
It is curious, but to be truthful, I am not entirely surprised.
It's difficult to follow you, Holmes.
Knock, knock. Okay, so there doesn't appear to be anything in here, but it might be an observation point later. Mine guards, eh? The box.
This box must be the safe. Let's open it.
Not much of a safe. Not very safe itself either. Eh. That was pretty easy. It's like, oh, there's lines going all the way out to one side. I'll just line them all up.
The Mexican company Caracal and the Chilean Barcazas both want to buy the mines. I need more information. Perhaps Mycroft could help.
Perhaps so. Oh, my dad is calling.
Someone removed these screws, most probably to take down the rails. A few feet of the rails have been dismantled.
Package. That is indeed odd.
This is an unusual kind of paper, stiff and dry. It was used for a specific purpose. Let us look inside. Sawdust. I am almost certain it is a... Watson, could you assist, please? Do you have your pistol? Good. Fire at this package.
Dynamite.
As we don't have the train at the moment, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let's see. I will have to end the stream pretty soon. My parents are gonna pick me up on our way to take my grandma out for dinner, because it's her birthday, so... I'd hoped to get to the end of this one before I finished for the evening, but that doesn't appear to be what's gonna happen, so... just get as far as I can. Yep, I already investigated that. And that takes me back that way. Okay, so that might be all I can get at the mines for right now. It's kind of a small area. I have a feeling that we're going to have to come back and use this cabin right here too, because there was nothing inside here that popped up earlier. And it's kind of suspicious so far to have a place that you can't open the door of, or that you can open the door of, and yet there's not anything inside that is useful.
Holmes, I don't understand.
Examine the side railway branch that leads to the quarry at the station located between Chesterfield and Eversham. Okay, I'm assuming that this will save my progress. Okay. And I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here for the evening. Just because I need to get ready to leave soon. I've made a decent amount of progress. This game game is definitely interesting. Not quite as action-packed per se as the newest one. That's okay. I like just kind of a slow-paced mystery type game every now and then, and I don't know, I enjoy it so far. But I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for the evening. So, have a good one.